What's up everyone, welcome back to Turbo Talk, the home for every gearhead who lives for speed, style, and history blended into one. Today, we're about to step into something that sounds impossible at first, but it's here to spark the imagination like nothing else. Imagine the year as 1919, just after World War I, when automobiles were still raw machines, more carriages with engines than anything else. Now take the legendary DNA of the Chevrolet Corvette Z06 and Z07, cars known for extreme performance and cutting-edge technology, and reimagine them as if they were born more than a century ago. That's the dream we are bringing to life in today's vision, the 1919 Chevrolet Corvette Z06 Z07 concept, a ride that fuses vintage spirit with futuristic aggression. Think about it, back in 1919, the automobile industry was still finding its voice. Vehicles were heavy, tall, and designed for practicality rather than power. But picture a metallic orange Corvette with wide fenders, sleek curves, and aerodynamic lines parked in a polished marble showroom of that era. It's a mix of steampunk fantasy and modern supercar dominance, a machine that feels both out of place and yet perfectly timeless. The rear view, with its bold stance, glowing taillights, and chrome exhaust tips, makes it look like a mechanical beast waiting to roar down cobblestone streets where horse-drawn carriages once ruled. The back right angle tells a whole new story. From this side you can see the way the designers envisioned history bending to modern performance. Carbon fiber style panels melt into vintage carriage-like arches, while the tires look wide and ready for the track. It's a paradox on wheels, and that's exactly what makes it special. It's a Corvette that never existed, but one that feels like it should have. Now let's step inside. The interior is where the magic really comes to life. Imagine sliding into hand-stitched orange and black leather seats, the kind of craftsmanship you'd expect in a luxury coach from the 1910s, but blended with futuristic racing ergonomics. The dashboard glows with advanced digital gauges, but instead of feeling cold, they're framed in polished brass and wood, a nod to the artisanship of the past. The steering wheel carries the Corvette emblem but looks like a fusion between a vintage ship's helm and a modern racing grip. Every inch of the cabin tells a story of time colliding, and yet the comfort, the feel, and the attention to detail scream pure Corvette heritage. Picture it under showroom lights. The reflections bounce across the metallic orange finish, showing off the aggressive bodywork that somehow still wears a vintage soul. This car doesn't just sit there, it commands attention, like a time traveler who walked into the wrong century but instantly became a legend. It's not about horsepower numbers or lap times in this fantasy. It's about vision, imagination, and the thrill of reimagining what performance cars could have been if Corvette had existed more than 100 years ago. At Turbo Talk, we don't just cover cars, we cover dreams, machines that may never hit the road but live in our minds as icons. The 1919 Chevrolet Corvette Z06 Z07 concept is proof that the love of cars is not just about reality, it's about imagination. Because when you let creativity run wild, you can mix history, luxury, and performance into a single breathtaking idea. So if you're like us and you crave speed, style, and stories that push beyond the limits of time, make sure you're subscribed to Turbo Talk. Hit that like button, share this wild ride with your friends, and let us know in the comments, if the Corvette had been born in 1919, would it have changed the entire history of performance cars forever? Because we think it just might have.